Okay guys, I wanted to update you with what's going on in Chainlink here. So first of all, you can see pretty clearly on this chart that Chainlink returned to the bottom of the channel, and I speculated on this possibility in the last video. I was really hoping that it wouldn't happen, and it really has some pretty big consequences. First of all, we've been tracking for a while this pattern here where it has been bouncing up and down, trading off. This one didn't quite make it, but in a previous video I covered why I count that one anyway, so I'm not going to cover that now. But up to this point, it was trading off, going from the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top. And so it was certainly looking like, according to this historical pattern, that we were set to return to the top of the channel sometime before the end of the year. This spike here was looking really, really nice. And then obviously it's not just Chainlink that took a downturn there, the entire market did. And part of that has to do with the coronavirus situation and whatnot. But of course, it went through the original coronavirus situation and still managed to maintain this pattern. So the fact that it broke this now definitely shows a little bit of weakness. More weakness than obviously we were hoping for. Now, it did obviously hold, for the most part, it held the bottom of this channel, which is pretty good news. I mean, it wicked through it just a little bit, which, you know, frankly, I would much rather see something. This is an Ethereum video I made a little while back. Here you can see it, when it reached the bottom of the channel, it was so strong that people were buying it up before it could even actually touch where. So that showed some pretty good strength in Ethereum there. Whereas with Chainlink here, we're looking at an actual wick through, which is showing some definite weakness. I mean, it's breaking very long-term trends here. It's wicking through this long-term channel. I mean, it didn't close below it, which, you know, is still a pretty decent sign, but definite signs of weakness. So as far as the weakness, I want to take a look at, I want to compare to what some of the other major coins are doing. All right, so Chainlink, from that most recent peak to this wick down, it went down over 42%. All right, so how does that fall? When you're really focused on Chainlink, it can feel like it's not performing that great, you know, because the best performers get all the headlines. So when you're looking at one of the ones that isn't performing that well, you're looking at it all the time, it feels like it's only happening to that coin. But let's compare. All right, so Bitcoin from the November 21st high to the most recent low here fell over 22%, which was a lot less than Chainlink, and Ethereum 19% and change, again doing much better. But Cardano, obviously historically a very strong coin, and having some recent problems since hitting $3 there. But I mean, from the same day, November 21st, it's down over 68%. Polkadot, which has been performing incredibly well lately, is in a very similar range to Chainlink. It fell 41 and change there on the same recent move. XRP down 34% at the same time. A little better, but still not, like, you know, mind-blowingly great. And VeChain here down over 44%. So yeah, when you look at the strongest and best performers, Chainlink, you kind of feel like it's not doing that well. And it's definitely having its problems, but it's not exactly the worst coin in the market. Okay, so another thing I want to look at with Chainlink here, a little bit of, I don't know if it's good news, but it's certainly something to consider. All right, so we have this long-term channel, and again, for the most part, it hits the top, it hits the bottom, it hits the top. But so we feel like we've been stagnated in this $25-ish range for just ages. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like it just keeps sticking to around 25 bucks. But I've been in Chainlink for a long time. And let's just, you know, just for relativity's sake, let's take a look at how long it took to break through this level that it was stuck at forever. This is the weekly chart, so we've got right around between 80, 85, depending on where you measure. Let's just say 80 weeks stuck around, what is this, 43 cents? No, it's like about 50 cents. So good long time before it moved out of this range. And then we got to this range. And this is about 4 3/4. All right. It spent about 55 weeks here before it finally got moving and got out of that range. So right around here, well, it peaked at around 20 way back when, so not quite 25. And we did wick down to almost 20. So we'll call this range between 20 and $22, I would say. It has been stuck in this range for about 67 weeks. So, this first one took longer. This second one took less time, but of course the broader markets were really moving well at this time. And now we're stuck in this range for 67 weeks. So if history is to repeat itself, now keep that in mind, because again, a lot of this stuff is based on history repeating itself. And as I just said, history didn't repeat itself with hitting the bottom of that channel. So we already have a little bit of divergence from the historical pattern. And I would attribute that a lot to the fact that for like the majority of Chainlink's existence, it has been in a crypto bear market. It didn't quite go that far, but right around here is when the bull market began. So, these two sections are somewhat different. It's just not enough data to say really how different or what the implications are exactly. All we know is that the wider markets, which obviously affect Chainlink, were in very different states between here and here. So we have the historical pattern from back here not sticking to the same pattern up here, and it could just be because the broader markets are acting differently now. So again, the point is it tends to stay in these ranges before it breaks out. If it repeats, it will do that again. If it doesn't repeat, there's always some probability that an unlikely event can happen. Nothing in trading or markets is ever 100% probability. I think about the best you could ever hope for is around 90%. And that's about as close to a sure thing as you're ever going to get. And we are not close to a 90% probability on this one. However, the channel did hold for now, so that's good news. But speaking of the broader markets and how much that plays into what Chainlink is doing, I want to show you this chart that we've been tracking here on this channel for quite some time. But as you can see, we are not a huge channel. We've got 800 some subscribers right now, and in fact, when I was trying to really get the word out on this chart I'm going to show you right now, we had much fewer subscribers than that. So it was really hard to get any traction. And I mean, this is the most incredible, really, chart of anything I've seen in crypto so far, which is this is the total market chart. This is all the money and all the cryptos combined. And you can see that it has this pattern where it keeps hitting a certain kind of low here. I mean, all the way through. Oops, I didn't do that one right. Just over and over and over again. It is not perfectly predictive. It's not perfect, but when you sum it all up and you combine it with whatever crypto you're looking at, it can really be quite powerful, because every time it makes these lows here, I'm just gonna draw out the whole thing to make it clearer. Every time it hits these certain lows, it's right around 30 days. I mean, like clockwork. It's unbelievable. I don't see anybody in the entire crypto universe, YouTube, anywhere talking about this. Here, this gap was 25, then 29, 30, 30, 28, 29, 34, 36. And now, so it expanded a little bit here, the most that it has since I've been tracking it, to 34 and 36. So I wasn't sure if the most recent one was going to be more than this or not. But at the moment, it appears that this one is coming in at 32 days. So the roughly 30-day pattern is still intact so far. It could, of course, just like I said, there's no 100% probabilities. It could still come straight down. Who knows? Some new coronavirus news comes out or whatever and messes things up. But so that's kind of the big picture. But to zoom in here, this low came in at 32 days. Wait, in fact, let me double check here that that is in fact the low. We've got 2.33 on this bar, 2.334 and 2.336. Wow. Okay, so just barely, but guess what? Actually, the lower low was in fact on exactly 30 days in this pattern that I have been calling the 30-day pattern. Now, this, like I said, when you use this in unison with other indicators, other charts, other data, it can really be quite powerful. And I have been trying to tell people about it, but we're just a small channel. And if I make a video about just this chart, well, there isn't the right keywords, and we don't have enough subscribers to get it going on its own. So we have to make videos based on certain keywords. And if I just talk about a broad topic like the total market chart, no one really finds it. But when the markets were at their absolute low a few months back, I was trying to get the word out about this. And I made a video explaining why I didn't believe the markets were going to go much lower. And myself and the few people who were listening to us at that time, they made some really nice buys based on that chart and the idea that that this 30-day low was probably about as low as it was going to go for another 30 days. All right, so what does it have to do with this video? Well, two things. Number one, if you find this information useful or valuable, please subscribe so that I can make videos about less narrow topics, and I can pull other data in that doesn't have to be so targeted to specific keywords. And so then I can make more videos about those kinds of things. I can share those kinds of things with you, and other people will see that data. So the more people that subscribe, obviously, the easier it makes that, the better this channel can get, and the better data that I can share with you guys. Okay, so there's that. But the second thing is well, we're a few days out now, so from the bouncing off of that channel. So maybe you guys aren't as scared as you were about the Chainlink price drop as you were a few days ago. But if it gives you any more comfort to know that it hit the 30-day low once again, and historically that has meant that we won't see another low for roughly another 30 days. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the next low won't be lower. It's possible, okay, depending on a lot of different factors, okay? But again, there's no 100% probability. But for me personally, okay, because this isn't financial advice, I'm just showing you the data that I'm looking at. I have consistently used this 30-day pattern to determine good entry points, number one, and number two, to sort of feel good about whether or not things were going to be heading lower. Because when things kind of dump out and then it reaches the 30 days. And then you get a green candle, then I can kind of start relaxing a little bit, and that's good. To any way that you can take stress off of your mind, so you can see things clearly, that's great. So again, I think this is very powerful, and right now it's really looking good for this channel, bottom of the channel, to hold, because it hit the bottom of the 30-day pattern. Looking for us to get another, I don't know where it's going to come down to when it comes down again, or even if the 30-day pattern will continue. It certainly won't continue indefinitely, but it looks good for now. It looks like the bottom of this channel is going to hold as far as the data that I am looking at, and that pretty much sums up everything that I wanted to update you with for Chainlink today. So If you found this information useful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And again, please consider subscribing so we can make higher quality videos about a variety of topics and grow this channel and get the word out. So thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.